Yo, this is the thing right here. Before we get into the Wonder Woman spoiler review, all that craziness, I got to tell you guys something. You know my cousin Jalen, the one that think he a Super Saiyan, he don't chilled out for a little bit. He don't wanna barge in on my channel. But I do have a cousin, and my other cousin, she wants to be on this channel. I said, please, no, you're gonna embarrass me. Can you stop? Can you stop it? She said, no, Fatal J. She said, either you put my clip up of my recent YouTube video, or I'm gonna tell your mom what you was doing when you was watching the Muppet Babies. I said, okay, touche. Touche. So here's her clip. I hope y'all like it. This is my cousin blackmailing your boy Fatal J. Here you go.
Can't help but think. No, I can't help but think. Maybe in time, maybe we can be together. Never.
That's my boy. Oh, yeah.
It's not unusual to have fun with anyone. It's not unusual to have fun with anyone. Every time I look in the camera and see you cry, it's not unusual to whoa ho 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 oh. We got 19 people up in the building. I'm glad you're here. Make sure to smash that like button, because not only are we going to review, me and some friends going to review WW84 and break it down to an atom. But guess what? I want to show y'all something. We doing a giveaway. Just for y'all being so dope and so lovely, we doing a giveaway. We doing a giveaway of a dope shirt. And you know what, Fatal J? I'm Mr. Boomer right now because I forgot to load up the shirt. But I don't care. While it's loading up, let's see who up in here. Then I'm going to introduce my guest in the back. Let's see who's up in here. 19 people already up in the building. Smash that like button. My boy Gingy. Gingy said, let's go. We got my boy Edward up in here. What up, Edward? We got my boy Reese Danny up in here. We got my boy Chubbs up in here. What up, Chubbs? We got my boy Perry up in here. We got my boy Zebra Fest. Zebra Fest said, smash that like button because it's about to get crazy up in here, man. We got my boy Concha up in here. I mean, my sis. I'm sorry. We got Zachariah up in here. We got Master up in here. Master, thank you for coming. We got Sickness. We got Deranged Lunatic. We got Shadow Killer up in here. Shadow Killer. We got Black Noir. We got the Maginat. Half of Keepers of the Force. We got Trey up in here. Trey, glad you here. We got Chaos up in here. And I think that's everybody so far. We got my boy Subjective Reviews. He says Zach held Petty's hand in WW. I believe that too. We're going to be talking about that. But I want to let y'all guys know it's supposed to get crunk up in here and it's going to get crazy because this shirt right here, this shirt is going to be given away to 4 lucky winners up in the building. It's designed by your boy Fatal J himself. It's called the Trinity League. It has that old school DC animated look, but it got that Zack Snyder up with the costumes up in here. I'm glad y'all here. And I'm just to introduce my first guest. He in the back. He's the man. He's the ladies' man. The ladies love him. Eh? And he might be chilling up in the back cave. You don't even know. This is my dude right here. My man. My friend. DK!
what an introduction right there. Yo, bro, before we start, is your cousin okay?
Yeah, she hurt her back. She hurt her back, bro. She hurt her back.
Bro, you had me die. What's up, Fatal J?
What up, sir? Black Noir said, is this a Ryu shirt? It's a Ryu shirt, sir. Me and TK were just talking about this in the back. I am a Street Fighter fiend. You know?
All day.
That's how we do it.
All
Now,
day.
TK, we need to get up into it because I've been acting a fool so far and we ain't talked about Wonder Woman 84. Now, you know, your boy Fatal J, what your boy Fatal J gonna do? I'm gonna show the iffy side about Wonder Woman 84. Now, you said the movie was what? Okay?
Okay, yeah.
You said it was okay. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to give us a brief summary of what you thought about Wonder Woman 84 so far. Give me your rating, and then I'm going to go in and I'm going to break it down bit by bit why this Wonder Woman right here ruins continuity. Ooh, I'm using big words.
Damn, it's like that, Fatal J?
Using continuity. This is not using continuity for BBS. Wonder Woman, the first movie, Justice League. So, TK, let us know. What was your thoughts, your summary?
So check this out. So with Wonder Woman, the first film, a lot of people gassed up that movie. I feel like a lot of people gassed up that movie and said it was like a great film and everything. I thought that film was also okay. And I feel like this film boosted that film just a little bit more. Like I feel like it made Wonder Woman, the first one, look better, obviously.
And TK, I've been hearing everybody say that, bro.
Yeah.
They said everybody, it seems like everybody across the spectrum, either they like it or they hate it. They all said one thing. The first Wonder Woman was better.
Yeah, and I wasn't, it's not that I'm looking at it like that. I'm not saying that the whole movie was better. It's just watching this movie. This movie had so much great potential. Wonder Woman 84, right? And we and the reason why I said the movie was okay, just because of the fact that I don't think the actors or the actresses, I don't think in any way it was their fault. I think they played their roles great. I just think the script was it. And but other than that, I mean, again, I didn't go with high expectations. So when I saw this movie, it wasn't a surprise to me. I was just like, oh, okay. Like, all right, that's I guess that was okay. I did like the ending part. Like it got somewhat emotional, even though it was confusing, like throughout the film. Even though the whole film had different plot holes, and I don't bring that up.
Okay, so that's good you said that. You said the ending was confusing, then you said the middle had plot holes. Now for me, Fatal J, it seemed like the whole movie I was just like I didn't know, it wasn't no consistency. You know what I mean? It was just hop onto that one, hop onto that one, hop onto that one. And it's like you said, bro, the actors was on point. I give it to Gal Gadot. I give it to Kristen Wiig. I give it to Pedro Pascal, aka the Mandalorian. I give it to who else I forgot? Whoever. Steve Trevor. I give it to him. But
Chris Pine.
But that script was trash.
It was, man. It was all over.
Trash.
It was all over the place, and it's just crazy because I'm glad I didn't go with high expectations. Then it would have been a whole different story. But since I went in there just like, all right, cool. Like the trailer seemed okay to me. I already when I saw the trailer, I was like, all right. So was it a disappointment? Not really to me. Like I was just like, okay. Yeah. I did enjoy the actors. I did enjoy the actresses. There was a part towards the end, it got emotional, and I did like the emotional part of it, even though things were confusing, even though there was plot holes. I was just like, all right, I understand somewhat of what they're trying to do, but damn, man, we need a DC, the DCEU needs to step up just a little bit again.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. Just a little bit is coming in March.
I know.
Trust and believe. But if you gave it a score, TK, if you gave it a score, and this stream is just ended. I'm just trying to see where TK mind at, because this is the thing. TK is the man that most people don't understand except his woman. You know what I'm saying? But TK, what was the score that you gave this movie? From a scale from 1 to 10, what was your score?
1 to 10. I'm what's considered okay, Fatal J, in your scale rate?
Okay to me is a 6.
A A 6, right?
A 6 is okay.
I was
5 is borderline trash. I'm talking about your neck is right here. If you go right here, that's trash. Right here is you all right. You know what I'm saying?
I'll give it a 6. I'll give it a 6.
Okay, I give it a 6 too. But we supposed to break this down heavy. And my boy 19K Fox is up in the building. One of my bestie buddies of all times, man. 19K, just for you showing me love, I got to give you the greatest scene in Dragon Ball Z history. Here you go, my friend. The movie proves we need Zack Snyder. The movie proves. And you know, this is the thing. I like Patty Jenkins. Patty Jenkins is absolutely dope. Gal Gadot is absolutely dope. We just said the cast is dope. But you can tell that writing was off. The script was off. It wasn't no consistency. See, you can have all the CGI you want. You can have the best actors you want. But when it come down to it, it's always that script, bro.
Yeah, man.
It's that script.
It's crazy. I mean, we could go into whenever you're gonna drop into like the CGI and all of that as well. I'm down.
Bro, I'm telling you, we're gonna get into it, but I'm gonna see what the chat saying real quick. Neely Chow, if y'all tell Discovery Inc. to step. Discovery. Man, we ain't talking about the Discovery Channel, man. Suggested reviews. Pedro did a good job, and Pedro did a good job. Max Lord, he did a dope job with what he had. Man, and we got a celebrity in the bag. We got a celebrity in the back. Y'all don't understand about this man I got in the back. This man here had the best career in YouTube history. I mean, right now, as we speak, he might got 200,000 subscribers just off the rip. You know?
Damn.
And people don't understand this dude right here. He tells the truth. Put some respect on his name. This is one of my friends, Ryan Kennel of the RKO Outpost.
That's like the introduction. I think a little bit of false advertising going on here. Not 200,000. I'm happy with 40. I'm happy with 40.
You at 40,000?
I'm at 40. Yeah.
Well, that's practically 200,000 right there.
That's what I'm saying. He there. Ryan, I want you to. I'm gonna introduce you to my friend TK. He do comic book stuff.
Awesome. Nice to meet you, man.
What's up, brother? How's everything?
Ryan.
Good. Oh, I wouldn't say great, but I watched Wonder Woman 84, so you know.
Okay, this before we break down, because we supposed to break it down, I got some images of scenes, and I want to hear y'all guys' opinion with the non-consistency. Now, my boy TK Ryan, he said that it was okay. It was an okay movie, but I think I understand your opinion. But I want you to give us a brief summary of what you thought, and then at the end, give us a score of the movie from a scale from 1 to 10. So break it down to us, Ryan.
All right. Well, I think the scores are tough. Especially comparing everything. I like to do maybe rankings better.
Okay, go ahead.
So my ranking for this, I think that it's better than Birds of Prey, but that's about it. It's hard to judge Studio Squad and Justice League as actual DC films when we know everything that happened. I would rather. The only ones I wouldn't want to watch instead of this are Birds of Prey and Justice League. We'll put it that way. I thought it was a really big disappointment. I thought it was a big tonal shift from the first one. My major issues were, to me, the biggest problem with this movie is it was never supposed to be made. There was never supposed to be a Wonder Woman 1984. We were supposed to understand what happened to Diana in World War I, and then we know why she is the way she is, why she was kind of hiding from everyone and still almost mourning the loss of Steve Trevor up until, Batman v Superman, when she comes out of hiding again. This, to me, seems so weird that they were going to force this to begin with. And then not only that, but they had to recreate the Chris Pine, Gal Gadot chemistry. Well, we'll just bring him back, but we'll bring him back in a way that doesn't seem forced. BS. It was completely forced and completely contrived. Him coming back here, all that does is when you go back and watch Wonder Woman 84, Wonder Woman 2017, it will lessen the impact of that moment. And that's something I feel like in Hollywood in general, people don't take into account. The fact that if you go back, if you change something for shock value or to get that nostalgia, it can devalue that thing that happened before. So you are devaluing your brand when you continue to do these kind of cheap remakes or nostalgia bait or whatever it may be. So that to me was the problem. It was also a problem that where was her sword? Where was her shield? They wanted her to be brighter, more hopeful. Jeff Johns. They wanted her to be like a Christopher Reeve Superman character.
Yes, they did. I noticed that, bro.
The first like 5 minutes of actual present day 84, when she's saving all of these people and these corny, cheesy lines. There's nothing wrong with Christopher Reeve Superman. I love those movies, but they were clearly trying to emulate that, and to me, it just didn't work. The characters were boring. The plot was boring. The action was bad. I fell asleep during the big car chase scene. Legitimately fell asleep
When they was in Egypt.
yeah, and that to me was like the action sequence, and the one they even like showed people a little bit of taste of. To hey, this is what this movie's gonna be. Look at the action you're gonna get. They were proud of it. To me, it was too long and too boring.
Ryan, what do you? Since you said you're not gonna rate it, what is your ranking? You said you put it just above Birds of Prey.
Justice League, because of everything that happened. Birds of Prey. This movie. I would rather watch the theatrical release of Suicide Squad than this movie.
Dang. All right, man. This is what we're going to do, because I want to bring up, Ryan, I want to bring up what Film God said yesterday about when Steve Trevor possessed the body of that guy, and Gal Gadot R-worded him.
Yeah.
Okay, we ain't gonna talk about that right now, though.
So we're talking fruits. We're talking grapes, right?
We we gonna talk about the good stuff first, and then we gonna ease into the bad stuff, the non-consistent stuff. But this is what I want to show right here. The first scene. What did y'all think about? We going back to her homeland, Themyscira. What did you guys think about this? TK, what did you think? Did you like that scene?
Honestly, when it comes back to the Amazonians and what they did and her training throughout those years, I feel like I enjoyed those parts of every film that I watched when it comes to the Amazonians.
Yeah.
I feel like it would have been a perfect way. It should have been. I would be more interested during the time where Steppenwolf came and the Amazonians and the humans and Green Lanterns came about and actually defeated him. I'm interested in a movie like that at that time rather than the
So you think the 1980s was a bad place to start?
Yeah, I don't think it was necessary. I don't think we needed any of that. You know, just like how he was saying that, you know, we understood the relationship and what happened and why she was like that. We could have either kept going forward or, you know, in my case, if they're gonna show this part, because I love the flashbacks to the Amazonians and her training and everything like that. So if they could show a movie like that, and then with Steppenwolf coming and everybody coming together to actually fight him from their perspective, and then move forward from there, if they wanted to go back in time, then I think that would have been a better movie.
Because I just want to tell y'all like this: the only reason why we had this scene right here was to show the special message that her mentor had for her. I mean, her queen, her mother had for her at the end. That was the only thing to connect it. You know, if you gonna show the Amazonians, show them in their glory. You know.
You know that this girl right here who plays young Diana, great job, you know, awesome job for a child actress.
Yeah.
You know, she is younger at this point here than the Diana, the like 12-year-old Diana that we saw in the original Wonder Woman, where she wasn't supposed to be training yet, where she was being trained in secret and all of this stuff. You realize that this girl is younger than she was in that
one of the mistakes.
Right.
And see, that's the cold thing about it, Ryan, because I didn't even notice that inconsistency. I thought this was the only scene that was really on point.
Yeah.
So what was go ahead.
I'm cool with them going back to here. I think that they wanted to use the same actress that they did. Unfortunately, like I don't think you can be doing this. I don't think you had to make her like doing this thing. It could have been something else to get her mom to tell her that, right?
Yeah.
But when you do, they wanted a big thing. They wanted a big chase and a race and to show how awesome she was compared to everyone else. But again, it's a lack of consistency. And that's a theme within this movie, whether it's internal consistency in the movie, whether it's internal to the Wonder Woman and the Wonder Woman sequel, or the general DCEU as a whole. There's no consistency in this movie. And we'll probably say it a million times, so I'll just say it right now. The CGI is horrendous. And the first thing you see when you go into that arena is somebody like whipping around on a lasso, and it looks like worse than Black Panther. Like, that's how bad the CGI looks.
I don't know what was going on with the CGI, honestly.
That doesn't make any sense to me, and that's why I don't make movies, right? I don't know anything about that. However, obviously one of the things everyone's going to bring up is that Zach wasn't near as involved in this as he was in everything else before. Like, we just watched Zach on a stream where he kind of broke down all that they do in order to get the CGI and how involved he is, like, in the whole process. So you got to wonder maybe what team is working on this stuff, who exactly is overseeing that. Is it just Patty wasn't ready to oversee a project of this nature?
Ryan, you can tell this was probably made during the hiatus of Zack Snyder. You know what I mean? Because hands down, everybody knows Zack is the king of CGI. He is the king of visual storytelling. And I'm right there with you guys. This was like, I don't know, it was almost like some low budget stuff compared to the first film.
Bro, CW11 TV shows made that look better.
Bro, I was thinking the same thing while I was watching this show, bro. And I'm not, look here, Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot, I know y'all watching. I'm not trying to shoot down the movie, but this did remind me of a CW movie or episode. I'm just keeping it real.
I couldn't believe it. I was just like, at first I thought it was a mistake. So, with the flying thing in the beginning, I was like, all right, well, let me get past that. I still have 2 hours of the film to watch. Yeah. So, but the thing is, when it comes to the plot holes and inconsistency, a lot of people might attack you and be like, hey, listen, what about Endgame? What about the inconsistency there? Or like,
I need that head too, bro.
And stuff like that. My thing is this, like, every movie, yes, has plot holes, right? But once you're focused on the plot holes by the end of the movie, that means it's bad. That means, they should have done something different. Now, if you're watching a movie that might have plot holes, but you enjoy the movie and you're like, yo, that was official, then that changes up your whole perspective on it.
Heck yeah.
I agree with that, like to a certain point, like, and it just kind of depends on how each individual enjoys things, right? For some people, that's going to throw them way off and like be like, oh, come on, like, what about, how did you not connect that? What about when that happened in Justice League? When the Flash in Justice League says, I've never done battle before, but we just had in Suicide Squad the Flash capturing Captain Boomerang. Like, that throws me off. That's like that line doesn't make any sense. But for some people, there's going to be some people that just go there and don't give a shit. They just want to eat their popcorn and watch a movie. So, like, the plot holes and the inconsistencies are going to be different for every person.
Yeah.
Next scene, and after this scene, I'm going to do a question because somebody is about to win this shirt right here.
The Trinity?
Yeah, somebody gonna win this shirt right here after we talk about this scene right here. What did y'all think about that freaking mall scene? Because, look, when she was in her homeland, it was dope, okay? Even though Ryan just pointed out some inconsistencies. But when it got to that mall scene, I'm sorry. Fatal J thought it was cheesy. What do y'all think about the mall scene? Was it needed?
I mean, again, with the Superman thing, it felt like they were going that route, and then it was just cheesy at the end. I don't know. When I think of Wonder Woman, especially in the comic books, when you read the comics and stuff like that, she's a warrior princess. Like, she's fighting, she's getting beat up, she's training, she's doing all of this. She's the best hand-to-hand combat one of the best, because then you got Batman, of course. But you got in the whole DC universe, and I feel like they should shine on that then rather than this fruitiness. But I mean, it's my opinion.
To me, the problem with this scene is that have the scene in the mall. Okay, that's fine. Everything was so over the top. It's like obviously, once we found out this movie was set in 1984, you knew they were going to bank on all this 80s nostalgia, from the cars to the hair to the clothes to the like the commerciality of all of it. You knew that was going to happen. But it's like they told the people, especially in this scene, it really stuck out to me. Every actor that was involved, they weren't like, act like you're in the 80s. They were like, act like you're acting in the 80s. It was so, like, the guy when he was running up the escalator, the ridiculous facial expressions he was using, the dialogue, it was so cringe.
But Ryan, you right, bro, cause just
open to the movie.
Ryan, you absolutely right, bro, because just think about the first movie. The first movie was serious, bro. Yes, it had comedy, but it only had comedy when it was needed. This mall scene, it set the tone for me, for the whole movie. It just had a cheesy vibe. In the 80s, yeah, I understand the 80s is a little cheesy, but come on, bro. This is the Wonder Woman. We were waiting on this movie. We was thinking it was going to rival one, but this mall scene, it was too much, man.
And again, you do have to remember, like, the idea behind all this. She is supposed to be hidden. She's not supposed to be making her presence known.
That's right.
She makes some big show of throwing her fucking tiara and hitting all the cameras. Like, that matters after you've been on camera for several minutes, after this entire mall of people has seen you. Like,
bro, that's right, because in BVS, she was hidden.
That's the thing. That's why I mean this movie was never supposed to happen.
Dang.
So if you are going to make it happen, but that's the thing. They want her to be this hero that everyone wants to like. That's the thing, right? So they want her to be this huge hero. So they're retconning everything that happened in order to make. Well, no, she didn't actually stand by during the Cold War. Look at what she was doing. Well, you'd have to tell me about what she was doing during World War II. What was she doing during the Korean War? What was she doing during Vietnam? Like, what was she doing all this stuff?
Right, peep this.
Hidden for BVS.
I don't mean to cut you out, but what, Ryan, because you know I'm forgetful. I'm very forgetful. But this is the thing, Ryan, you're right. Remember when Bruce Wayne was going through Lex Luthor's archives?
Yeah.
And he saw that old picture. He looked at Wonder Woman on that picture like he never saw her before. Yeah. You know what I mean? He looked at her like he never seen her before. All this stuff she did, she pretty much saved the world. The world was in chaos. Bruce Wayne was alive.
And that would have been in Lex's file. Let's be real. There would have been more in Lex's file if she had been out there doing stuff. You know, that's just the way it is. And also, I do just want to say, Bruce would have been alive during this time.
Henry Cavill too. Superman. He would have been alive.
Yeah, I guess I don't know exactly the date that they would have had when he landed, but we know that Batman would have been alive. His parents would have already been killed during this time. So you telling me Bruce Wayne didn't wish for his parents to come back, and then he was like, "Nah, fam, we good." Like, come on. And that when you start doing these nonsensical plot lines, you know, just making stuff out of thin air, you and Jeff Johns.
Because that's the motivation of Batman, Ryan, is for his parents to be alive. He think about his parents every day.
He probably wasn't watching TV at the time. Nah, imagine.
Man, he would have had a TV before anybody else had a TV.
Nah. Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with all of that. Yeah, exactly. There's no inconsistency. There's a lot of like questions that you have. That's why with the whole film itself, 1984, it was unnecessary. I thought that, well, even when I heard about it, I was like, why are we getting a prequel? Why is it dated 1984? Like, what's the problem? Like, I don't need all of that. And then, yeah, you can go with what happened to Maxwell, and the whole world was going, you know, crazy and chaotic. That's probably why people lost their focus on the whole Wonder Woman or somebody saving people, and they were trying to reconstruct the world. But even with that, I don't care about any of that. Like, it was unnecessary. I felt like, again, if you was going to do a prequel, go back to the time where Steppenwolf was coming and give me the point of view or the perspective of the Amazonians at that time. I would have enjoyed that rather than anything else.
You're right, bro.
I will say, like, if you wanted to fit it in, you could have made it. You could have made it or do things in not such a public arena. You could have had her not talking to the entire world at the end of the movie to get them to convince to like give up their wish. You know, there are ways that you can do this to stay consistent, but they decided to not worry about that, tell the story that they wanted to tell, and just like cram it in there regardless of anything else. And maybe if the story was good, we could have been overlooking a lot of these things.
Yeah.
But for me, this story fell a little flat.
Okay, what we gonna do? We gonna get into the actors just real fast. But before we get into that, I want to give away a T-shirt to somebody in the chat. Thank everybody in the chat for coming through. We got 55 people. Make sure to smash that like button. This is the shirt right here that I'm going to mail to a lucky winner. This is the first question right here. Ryan and TK, y'all do me a favor and y'all let me know who is the first person that's going to get this question right here. The question right here is, what is Superman Kryptonian's mother name? Not his earthly mother, but his Kryptonian mother. Who will be the first person to answer this question?
I see one wrong answer.
I see one too. I see a wrong one too.
Good guess though.
It looked like to me Cygnus got it. Did Cygnus get it?
Yeah, I see Cygnus.
Yeah.
That's the one I saw first right there.
Cygnus, congratulations, sir. You got a shirt because you know what?
Win. Perfect.
It's Laura.
There you go.
So this is what I want you to do, Cygnus. What you do is put your email in the chat, so won't nobody else pretend that there's Cygnus. Put your email in the chat. I will email you. And when I email you, give me your shirt size, your name, and shipping address. And Cygnus, you also got me on Twitter. So make sure you message me. And also, stick around, people, because I'm giving away 3 more shirts. 3 more shirts. Now, let's get into it right here. Let's get back to the movie. What did y'all think about the villain? This lady right here, what did y'all think about her?
I mean, was she the villain? She was the B villain. The B villain. I thought
She was the B villain. Yeah, you're right.
I thought she was. I think the actress herself, right? I think she did a good job. The CGI on the cat. I mean, I wasn't expecting nothing. You know what's crazy? A lot of people were thinking about Cats, the movie, and thinking about the CGI would be like that. I think it was just probably a little bit better. I mean, I don't know how hard it is to do a cheetah from the comics into the movies, but I'm assuming it is. So I don't want to break into that. But other than that, I thought she was like okay, I guess.
Rand, what did you think about this B? The B villain, not the A villain, but the B villain. Because I was thinking she was going to be the A villain. What you think about the B villain?
I think that if you have read any Wonder Woman comics, ironically, there was someone out there saying that if you didn't like this movie, you need to read more comic books. I would say if you've ever read any comic books, specifically involving Cheetah or Barbara Minerva and Wonder Woman, you would probably be really like disappointed with how they honored how true it was because it wasn't Cheetah from the comics. It was very strange motivations. She just wanted to be like Diana. And at the end, we have one fight with them, and now she is no longer Cheetah. She's given up her wish just like everybody else because everyone in the world's actually good. There are no evil people in the world. Everyone was convinced to give up their wish, and that's just her. She was just misled and misunderstood. She got a little too carried away, and now she's just Barbara Minerva again. To me, it was so strange because I don't really understand why she became Cheetah if she was wishing to be like Diana.
Ryan, I swear me and you think alike.
I think she said one thing. She wanted to be an apex predator, and that was it. She became
No,
a cheetah.
but y'all, look, Ryan called it. He called it. Watch this. She said she wanted to be sexy like Diana. She wanted to be charismatic like Diana. She didn't ask for Diana powers because she didn't know she was Wonder Woman.
And if she had, she would have probably got the powers. I get none of us really quite understand how this rock works. And I think that's a failure of
because they didn't explain it.
Yeah,
But
because
real quick, Ryan, I got somebody in the back. I've been trying to get her on my channel for the longest. She just starting a YouTube channel, and it's very dope. It's DCEU related. My man, well, I can't say my man.
I was gonna say you said her,
My woman, my friend.
my woman.
I don't know. My homegirl,
There you go.
Belle. What you drinking?
Can you hear us?
Can she hear us?
I don't know if she can hear us. She might need to set up the inputs and everything.
Can you hear us?
Hello.
Is it me? you're
Hello?
looking for? Oh, hello.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us? Can you see us?
I don't think she can hear us.
Yeah, it's just. I think that was.
Okay, Belle, what you do? Belle, what you do
Can't
is
hear shit.
just exit out and come back in. All right. So what do y'all think about the Dreamstone and the wishes?
I have a lot of questions.
I have a lot of questions too.
I have a lot.
I have a lot of questions.
So I have a lot of questions about how it works. I have questions when Pedro or when Maxwell Lord decides to become the stone. One, if I were him, I would wish for infinite wishes or whatever. I wouldn't want to be the stone. But when he wants to become the stone and it like takes something from him, like what is it doing to him? Like why is he hurting? Like
I was waiting for that answer the whole time. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, Wonder Woman brought it up. She brought up the god of whatever it was, and then she starts breaking it down and what it does. But then she never got to the point, or it was never answered in the film of what is actually happening to him. If he is he losing like life essence, or like what's going on?
I don't know. Can you hear us now?
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you guys now.
All right.
Okay. Belle, glad you're here. You finally on the Fatal J show. Now, this is what we talking about, Belle. We talking about the freaking Dreamstone. Now, you saw the movie, right?
Yes, twice.
Okay, speak on the Dreamstone. What did you think about the wishes? Because we was talking about Cheetah. And she wished to be like Diana, but she got Diana powers. But she didn't ask for Diana powers. She just asked to be sexy like her. She'd have her charisma. What did you think about that? What did you think about the Dreamstone?
Okay, my issue with the Dreamstone and Diana is how did Cheetah know that Diana was Wonder Woman? How did it get to that point? I don't remember Wonder Woman telling her or anything. Like, how did that work?
Well, I don't think she knew she was. I don't think she knew she was Wonder Woman until they met in the White House or whatever that was.
Yeah.
I guess I might have to watch it again to remember. But like when she wished, she just wished to be Diana, and they did make that clear. So I wanted to be like you because everyone's looking at her like she, you know, all the guys want to talk to her, all these things.
Yeah.
So she wished to be Diana, which is like I didn't realize when I wish you I'd get these powers.
If I'm not mistaken, in the film, doesn't she say, "I wish as I was as strong as Diana. I wish I was as pretty as her," or whatever? Doesn't she keep going? And you can misunderstand that, or like the stone can take that as in like, oh, she wants her power, like how really strong.
Yeah, how did the stone know exactly what she was talking about?
No, the
Because she
stone knows
wasn't
everything.
specific.
First of all, that's an ugly ass stone.
Well, the thing is, it's just we don't really know any rules or anything. Like, for instance, when Diana wishes for Steve, why? Why is he back in the body of someone else?
I'm glad because that was the next picture I was going to show, and we got to speak on this. And I want to talk about what Film God said, too, because Film God was on point. Why did Steve come back in somebody else's body? This dude's body.
My boy was lucky though.
You want me to tell you why? You want me to tell you why it happened? The actual reason that they decided to write everything around it? The actual reason that they decided to bring him back in someone else's body is so that he had a house, so that he had a closet, so that he had a wardrobe, so that they could do the whole 80s scene where it's like, look at all these ridiculous things from the 80s. Don't you guys think this is funny? I wholeheartedly believe that is why they had this happen, and then they wrote everything to kind of fit.
But
I'm not kidding, man. I think it's real.
Look, I'm gonna put it out there, Ryan, because I'm still thinking about what Film Guy said. Because Film Guy was right. Now let's just keep it real, Ryan. They had these messages in the movie. One of the messages was, "Guys, stop harassing women." Am I right? Am I right? Bill, am I right?
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay.
Every man in this street wanted a little piece that's what
Okay,
happened.
now let's go there. Gal Gadot. Well, not Gal Gadot. Diana. She was with the guy she wanted, but it wasn't the guy she wanted. And then at the end of the movie, she didn't even apologize to the guy for what she did.
Yo, oh my God, it was weird because they added an extra scene with the same guy for the last bit of the film, and I was like, bro.
That's what I'm saying. He showed up at the end, and she just smiled like, yeah, I took that.
Oh man, that's creepy right now.
Look what Steph just said in the chat. My Nerdy Home. Yeah, because they did the trying on clothes awkwardly scene in Wonder Woman. They needed in '84. I agree. That is what they did with this movie. When they were trying to come up with a way to have a sequel, they were like, oh, you know what? We did Diana, a fish out of water, in 1917, whenever it was. What if we make Steve the fish out of water in this movie? That's what happened.
They made it obvious, bro. Borg, thank you so much, Borg. Let me blow you up, Borg. I really appreciate the super chat. Here you go, my friend.
Bring it on.
As you wish.
Borg with the $5 super chat. Did you notice that Matt Lord and Mandalorian are similar when it comes to taking care of their kid?
You ain't wrong.
Okay, let's speak on that though. Borg, thank you for that. Okay, this is the next one I was gonna pull up.
Well, just one more on this scene, if I can.
Go ahead.
Like,
72 people in here. Smash that like button. Thank you so much.
You know, I didn't have a problem with whatever. That's his soul. She had sex with him. Okay, it's stupid that they wrote it this way. They should have just had him come back in a random body. They made all of this stuff happen out of thin air. It's not like you needed some transfer of matter or anything for it to make it work. They manifested a wall out of nowhere. They manifested nuclear weapons. There's no reason to manifest Steve Trevor based on the rules of this stone that we don't really know all about. But just imagine if the roles had been reversed. I think you would be seeing so much outrage online about consent
100%.
and things like that. If it had been say Henry Cavill doing that to another woman, there'd be a lot of blowback. And it's shocking to me that they didn't recognize what they were doing when they made that scene.
Bill, what you think?
Well, whoever, if it was reversed, it would have been a lucky woman. But
Yeah.
but I mean, I didn't really mind that. I just personally, I do think it was stupid. I was just a random guy, and especially in the end when they were talking, it's almost like he didn't know. Did he not realize that his body was taken over by someone's soul? Did he not remember any of that?
He got roofied and date raped. That's what
I'm saying. And then I still don't understand the connection, because I was thinking when I was watching the whole movie, his name must be Steve Trevor and he must be a pilot too. But they didn't explain that. Did they explain it? Maybe I missed it.
No.
I was thinking, okay, his name must be Steve Trevor. He must be a pilot. And then I even thought this deep. I said, well, maybe that's Steve Trevor lost son or grandson or something. They dropped the ball. They dropped the ball, bro.
Yeah,
they dropped the ball.
I was like, what's going on here? I was trying to get past of it. And I'm not a sensitive person when it comes to this. I don't think about the whole, oh my God, she's R-ing him or whatever you want to say. But then it just, now we're in especially nowadays, it's like the thought comes up, and then you have to explore that thought, and you're like, hey, wait. Like if it was different roles, it would have been a problem for society. But since it's not, everybody's just looking by that like it's nothing. And I'm not trying to say make it a big deal. I'm just trying to say like
I'm not either.
That's
But Film God, this is what I love about Film God. Shout out to Film God. Film God, you should be in here too. He made me think. And he came up with a post today that said, are we not allowed to think after we watch a movie? Are we not allowed to think? And then speaking of thinking, what y'all think about this right here? He became a freaking genie. He became a genie.
Yeah. Also, I just remembered, not only did she R-word him, whatever your thoughts about that are,
yeah.
They endangered his life the entire movie. Just some random guy out there in Egypt launching missiles and driving the car. Like, good thing he didn't die, I guess. But yeah, this scene, like I said, I if I were Maxwell Lord, I would have wished for, I would have wished for something that wasn't to become this stone. I would have wished for 1,000 more wishes or whatever.
Exactly.
Like, I don't.
My thing is, now that I'm thinking about it, she would have been okay with that guy not living as himself anymore. Like that guy's practically dead, right? And
TK, what you mean? Break it down. Who you talking about?
Like let's say Chris Pine's character, the one he takes over, that body, that the guy himself, the guy that that doesn't know what's going on throughout the whole movie. If she didn't have to make that decision to take that wish back, she would have left Steve Trevor in that body, and that guy would have just disappeared in time.
She would have killed that man.
You right, bro. He would have just he would have went back to wherever he was at.
Yeah, it would have been weird. I don't know.
Okay, now this is the thing I didn't understand, everybody. Okay, this is the rules of the wishes. You can get whatever you want, but you're going to lose something at the same time. Okay, he became a freaking genie. He wished that he was the dream stone, but his punishment or his removal was his health. I was thinking, now this is just me, Fatal J being the writer. Wouldn't you write that his son will lose his health at least? Why is he losing his health? Because they never did show in the movie him loving his health. He loved his business. Y'all speak on that, let me know, because I'm confused.
Well, I would say maybe what they should have done is show that he actually did have a good relationship with his son. Like maybe that could have been it. Like he was actually close to him, didn't want to already pass the buck and like not spend time with him and all of this stuff. So then when he does lose something, it's that connection to his son. Then when his son is saying, "Dad, I just want you back," that means something, right? And that can be the reason that he gives it up at the end instead of Diana doing all of this other stuff. Like everybody was in their way.
Watch this. Ryan, you absolutely right. Because watch this. While we watching the first and second act of the movie, he didn't care about his son. But then towards the third act, now he's all about his son. I just want my son. It didn't make sense.
Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. And we didn't get an understanding. And he said, too, like he had just became the wishing thing. And he asked someone for his vitamins because he wasn't feeling good. Does that mean there was already something wrong with his health?
Yeah, he had something wrong from the get-go. Because he was testing before he even became that he needed his medication or vitamins or whatever.
Exactly. So, like, what is wrong with him? Did that make it worse? What is happening? Again, these are just things that we don't really know. And so that's why I feel like there was a question of what the stakes are and how all of this works the entire time. I just want to jump on everything.
No, I'm reading Steph because she said silence. Apparently the panel is confused too.
Like, to me, so what he does, the way it works, if you didn't see, the way I understand it is you wish for something, you get that wish, but you have to give up something in return. And usually the stone would kind of decide what you give up. Well, in this case, Maxwell becomes the stone. So when someone gets a wish, he gets something back from them. So it's essentially fulfilling his wishes but other people's wishes. So wouldn't it have just been easier to get 1,000 wishes? Like,
Ryan, look here. Ryan, look. The way you just broke that down, I'm an average moviegoer. I'm not trying to think that deep into it. Especially when he was going around talking about, okay, if I go over here, I can save my health. If I go over here, maybe I get a whole new body. I mean, no, man, that sucks.
Yeah,
that's stupid. But we supposed to finish up, but I want to give away another shirt, everybody. I want to thank all 75 people that's in here, and this is the way I'm going to thank you. I'm giving away another shirt. This is the question right here. This is the question. Question number 2. And TK, Bell, Ryan, y'all keep an eye out to see who answered this first. This is the question. How many supermen appeared after the death of Clark in Doomsday?
I know that answer.
When you on the panel, you can't answer that.
I know.
How many Supermen appeared after the death of Clark in Doomsday? Who was the first one?
Who we got here?
It looked like Jonathan.
Yeah, it looks like Jonathan to me.
Got it.
Okay, Jonathan. Let's see if you right, Jonathan. You said 4. Let's see if it's 4.
You win. Perfect. You win.
That was my bad. I know that was my bad, man.
Difficulties?
That was my bad, man. I'm sorry. Now, people on the panel, this is what I want y'all to do. Can y'all name the 4? The 4 Superman that came back? Cyborg Superman, right?
Superman, Steel.
Eradicator, Steel.
Glasses.
Who was the last one? Y'all didn't
Superboy.
name the last one.
Superboy, right?
Superboy, you right. You're exactly right. So, Jonathan, this is what I want you to do. Put your email in the chat, and I will email you later. And you got you a free shirt, my friend. Let's continue.
Haters.
Somebody say what?
Leon has a good point. Leon says Superboy is a boy, not a man.
Uh-oh.
I thought Superboy was dope back then with that leather jacket.
Well, he's just saying, he's like getting technical with your question. You're like, how many Supermen? And he's like, he's a Superboy.
Oh, man, y'all tripping. All right, now, this is what I want to talk about right here. What did y'all think about the actual transformation? Because she wished to be an apex predator. Now, this is what I got from this. She didn't name what type of animal she wanted to be.
I mean,
an apex predator.
Like
but, bro, an apex predator can be a cheetah. It can be a lion. It can be a rhino.
Rhino.
It could be a T-Rex.
But that's the thing. That's why I feel like they didn't go too hard on her look of cheetah, like the comics, like too many bright colors to make it seem like a cheetah or whatever. I think they just went with like apex predator and they just put fur on her.
But
I mean,
bro,
I don't know.
But just look, let me show you this. This is clearly a cheetah, though. You know what I mean?
I mean, to us, because we know the character, but
I
think. Listen, I think I don't like the look. It's not traditional. It's not the traditional way we would expect cheetah to look. To me, that's almost like an afterthought. Like, I have more of a problem with her, like, with her character and her like kind of motivations throughout it, and the fact that at the end they have one little fight. Diana electrocutes her. And
underwater.
Electrocutes her underwater, but she's fine, and brings her up. Like, I have way more problems with that than the way it looks. I don't like the look. I think the reason it was so dark in this scene. Think about this: the way how dark this final sequence was with Wonder Woman in her like golden armor. That should have been like a bright scene. Like that golden armor sparkling, and then Cheetah, like this whole fight. But I think they kept it dark because of how bad a lot of the CGI looked. I think they kept it dark to cover up some of that stuff.
Which makes sense. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, like that's all I could think. Like, you have this gold you got this gold armor that's in this like really dour. You can't see it in its glory, I guess would be the way I thought about it, but I don't know.
See, I think about it the other way as well. I think about it, all right, let's say if we wanted her to look like Cheetah. Let's say we wanted her to be Cheetah. Let's say we wanted the character to actually say, hey, I wanted to be a cheetah. How would that work in the film? I'm pretty sure they went through that thought process and they were like, she's not going to wish to be a cheetah. And
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
it's not like we're going to catch her watching Animal Planet. She sees a cheetah and she's like, I wish to be like that or something. I don't know. So
Bill,
that's
what
why
do
I'm
you
a
think
little
about-
blurry with that whole thing.
Bill, what do you think about the cheetah costume or whatever that is? What do you think about that?
I mean, as far as like the CGI, I was like, whatever, I didn't expect it to be perfect. I like the way she was fighting as Cheetah. Like, I really love that part. But like, when it comes to the whole aspect about the Rock and her wishing to be a cheetah, I would like to think in my mind that it was like a inner animal type of deal. So like the Rock just went off of like how she felt inside, I guess.
Oh, okay, so it was
I don't
like
know.
a spirit animal or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though it sounds stupid, that's
Well, maybe that's what, maybe that's what they was going when she put on the fur.
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, the very first thing like you hear her say is, was it Diana that was wearing like leopard print or like cheetah print high heels?
Yeah.
And she's like, I really love the animal print. So
I
they
didn't
did
even
set
catch
that up
that.
early. They
Okay.
did set that up early, but I have just a bigger problem with like the way they chose to decide to portray Cheetah not as a villain. And again, even at the end of this movie, Max Lord isn't a villain. Everybody's just good. Everybody's good in this movie. They were just misunderstood and got carried away. I heard on Mara and Steph's stream yesterday that they kind of talked about Barbara Minerva and who she is and the fact that she wanted power. Like this character actually wanted power, wanted immortality, wanted all of these things. And that's kind of how she became the supervillain Cheetah. Barbara Minerva is just someone who, look, she's such a dork. She's such a nerd. She just wants to be beautiful. She just wants to be noticed and kind of turns into this. I just didn't dig it.
Gave me like that Poison Ivy vibe from one of the Batman movies. And she had it. But I agree with everything. Like I feel like, I don't take, when it comes to superhero films, since I'm so invested into the comics, I can't nitpick on all of that because I did that with Iron Man 1. I did that with the first films in the MCUs. And I was just like, that makes no sense. That's not how it was in the comics. So I tend to just leave the comics by itself. And then whatever character they bring on screen, I'm like, okay, all right, cool. Let's just take it from there and see what they do with the character. But I wasn't too fond of the character either. It was just like whatever. Again, I feel like my expectations for this film was very low from the beginning. So it didn't affect me as much as it did for others. And that's why I said it was an okay film. Like I was like, all right, will I see it again? No. I don't need it.
So it don't have no replay value for you?
Nah, not for me.
And I think that like what you said about comparing the comics, I do think that's like valid. And all of us here, I imagine all of us here are really looking forward to March on HBO Max when you see Zack Snyder's Justice League. He does some things that aren't necessarily traditionally in line with the comics. It's his take, like Lex Luthor, for instance, right? We haven't really seen that Lex Luthor that we're used to seeing from the comics. We saw the first steps in that, right? So just because something isn't exactly the same as the comics doesn't mean I'm going to hate it or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's also, valid for somebody else to bring that up. But for me, I didn't dig this Barbara Minerva. I don't know why this had to be Cheetah. I feel like they did Cheetah so they could say, Wonder Woman versus Cheetah, one of her biggest rivals. And then they just made her, they had one fight and now she's not Cheetah anymore. It was just really weird.
Ryan, you're right, bro. If your villain sucks, 50%, you got a 50% chance your movie is gonna suck. It's weird the way this movie is because Max Lord, it was great acting from Pedro Pascal, but I didn't care nothing about Max Lord. Kristen Wiig, she did a good acting job, but I don't care about that villain. So it's a weird thing going on. And John Matrix, Thank you so much for the super chat. This is my Texas brethren. And for my Texas brethren, I have to do something really dope. So here you go, sir. My man, Fatal J. Wonder Woman 1984 was hot garbage. My wife hated it more than me. Thank God I didn't need to pay for it, as I get HBO Max for free. I paid for it, bro. And I paid for it dearly. This is the last thing we're going to be talking about. Jump Matrix, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. This is the last thing we're going to talk about. This really threw me off because I'm going to tell y'all, ladies and gentlemen, this part right here, it was the dopest scene in the movie.
Linda Carter.
That was kind of dope too. But I'm talking about this right here. This was the dopest scene in the movie to me. But when you compare it to Batman versus Superman and even Justice League, it made no sense at all. Watch this right here. This is what I got for you. Peep this. Peep that. Peep that.
Yeah. All right. So I would love to ask Patty Jenkins about, like, is she flying or is she kind of riding the wind? Because in it wasn't until like New 52 that Diana really got like flight powers. Now we did see it in the Justice League animated series and things like that. But it wasn't until New 52 where she got flight. It's not unheard of. Like, we have seen that before in the comics. But there's a reason she had an invisible jet for a long time, just because she couldn't fly. There is a period in time where she could kind of like ride the winds. And to me, that's what this felt like. It was like she was using the lasso to gain speed and then kind of controlling her descent a little bit, if you know what I mean. And then it's not till the very end scene of the movie where you see her go up kind of through the clouds and then come back down. But even so, that could still be not necessarily flying, but still kind of a floating.
Ryan, you being too nice, bro. Bro, Ryan, you being too nice, because that is not gliding, bro. And if she gliding, she can glide for a long time, bro. She was flying.
If she was flying, then why did she use the lasso to get more speed again while she was flying? You know what I mean?
She's still running.
This was like she was in the air and she like lassoed like a cloud or some shit and then like pulled herself further.
Ryan, she was doing one of these joints laying back flying, bro. She was flying.
I know.
I want to ask Belle. Belle, was she flying or was she gliding? What you think? Was she flying?
I think she was flying.
She was flying.
TK,
was she flying?
My question is, if she could ride the wind, who else can ride the wind? Like, what makes her special that she could ride the wind? Because she's a goddess? Is that how it works? An Amazonian? Or anybody else could ride the wind?
Anybody else? Maybe if you had the body and like the fortitude and the skin to be able to withstand that kind of wind and that kind of pressure and air pressure and stuff like that, maybe. But I saw a comment from Leon. It's kind of saying what I was saying. She was gliding and riding wind. She was thrusted after she grabbed the plane with her lasso. She kept using her lasso the same way that Thor uses a hammer. That's kind of what I saw, because Thor can't fly, right? Thor uses the hammer.
He swings
and
it.
flies.
Oh yeah, because she was swinging the lasso. I give you that. Yeah. She was.
And
but why she didn't do that joint when she was fighting the Nazis?
I don't know.
I can't say that word on YouTube, but when she was fighting the other people and Wonder Woman, why she didn't do one of them joints and just jump over there? She ran over there.
Because, well, here's the other thing. And listen, I don't like this movie. I'm just trying to think of what people could say to kind of excuse it and what you could use. You did see evolutions of her powers here. She's learned to use the lasso in a different way than she had before. Which they needed because they didn't want her to have a sword and shield, because they wanted her to be nice and cutesy for little kids. So they got rid of her sword and shield. But she also showed that she had been doing stuff with the magic that they used as a gimmick for an invisible plane that was just gone after they used it once.
That was hilarious. So I like the whole touch on the invisible plane.
Yeah, so she did have an evolution of her powers. So maybe she'd just kind of discovered that she could do that after listening to Steve Trevor and talking about the way the wind catches the plane and like that scene there. I feel like that's what they were going for, but it's very unclear. I don't know if Wonder Woman can fly or not. I don't.
My thing is, from here and on, is she gonna like take a really high leap and then start swinging the lasso, and then that's how she's gonna be able to move around, or is she just gonna be running the whole time, or she's gonna have an invisible jet? I don't know.
That's a good question, bro.
The invisible jet, she can't fly it. Somehow Steve Trevor knows how to use 70-year in the future technology.
It's the same thing.
Not to mention he a ghost too, bro. He a ghost.
You know what? And this is again. It's like, why couldn't they just do this? Why couldn't? And the idea that these jets at the Smithsonian are full of fuel, that's so stupid. But why couldn't they just find like a replica of like an old World War I plane that he was used to flying? That he would have.
He wanted to fly the new shit.
He did though. He did.
though.
It don't make no sense. And y'all don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to trash this film. I'm just trying to. I'm just trying to understand the potholes. Like, it's a lot of holes in this movie, man. It's a lot of stuff that need to be explained, and that's what made it bad. You know,
but the fireworks were pretty.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Go ahead.
What did you guys think about the armor?
Well, when she went back and got it,
like the whole thing about the armor. What did you guys think about it?
The armor was dope, but the way she went back home and got it, I don't know. What y'all think about the armor?
I think there may have been a scene cut out where it showed her like going back or something. Because like my impression, she kind of like heard a bunch of voices and like looked down and then like took off. I thought she was going there, but then next time you see her, she's using the armor. For this armor being like so incredible and all of this stuff, she just seemed to tear through it really quickly, like instantaneously. It seemed like it really didn't help her at all, other than for a really bad CGI shot of her taking out 4 guards. To me, it's like they added it in there to market the movie and sell toys.
And sell toys. That's because it wasn't in there that long.
Look, when it comes to the armor, I thought it was unnecessary, and I thought it took away from like Wonder Woman herself. Like, I love seeing when Wonder Woman's all like beat up when she's going to like war and she's fighting and you know she's bleeding, but she's like a strong woman and she's holding it down. That's what I like to see with this armor. First of all, what is Cheetah's nails made out of in this film? Adamantium? Like, she was ripped right through that like there's nothing. This armor is Amazonians. This is from the gods, giving armor to the greatest warrior there was. But I don't know. I thought the armor looked pretty nice on her. It's just the way they used it. I don't know.
It was dope, but it wasn't needed. A lot of stuff was not needed, and it made me think: did they just rush this movie? Because I don't understand why they rushed this movie if this movie is 2 years old. Because this movie was supposed to come out in 2018, right?
December of 2019.
2019?
Yeah, and then got moved up to November 19, then pushed back to March, and then June, and then now.
It seemed like this movie was made like they put this all together a few months ago. It seemed like they had plenty of time to fill gaps and make sure this was a dope story like Wonder Woman 1. Because what I like about the first Wonder Woman movie, we thought we knew the villain, and then at the end, they did a 180 on us. It was the little nerdy man in the back that was Ares. I love that. But this right here, it wasn't no shocking scenes or nothing. What did y'all think about the ending?
Her boss fight was with the cheetah. With Cheetah. That was her boss fight.
That was her boss fight. She didn't fight Max Lord.
Anything. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I felt like I felt the cheetah scene with her. I thought it was pretty cool. I thought you know the way the cheetah moved as well. Like she was saying, like I thought it was interesting and cool. I understand why it was dark. Maybe the CGI was too tough to you know manage. But other than that, I thought that fight scene was okay. The way it ended was weird, whatever. But then I was looking forward to more fighting. I was like, okay, that was cool. Let's see where it's going from there. And then you know she had a conversation with Maxwell, and that was it.
Bill, what did you think about the ending?
I didn't like the ending. I didn't like the Linda Carter cameo.
You didn't like the Linda Carter? I thought that was
No.
kind of cool.
I didn't like it. I like Linda Carter as Wonder Woman, but they could have done something better to like connect everything else to the universe. I just felt like
Yeah.
that was like, here's Linda Carter, you know. That's how I
Yeah.
felt
Why did-
anyway.
Why didn't she have an accent?
Oh,
I didn't
Why did-
catch that, bro. She had one?
No, why didn't she? Gal Gadot has one. She's been living there for a damn century.
Yeah, it's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Ryan, what did you think about the thing with Matt's Lord at the end? What you think about that?
So again, we see her defeat Cheetah by screaming, "I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I know you're good. I know you're good." And then electrocutes her underwater, and still she's alive somehow. And she doesn't know. She's just caught up, carried away with herself. Then she goes to Max, and again ends up like it turns out that she turns him into this big sympathetic character. I didn't understand the use of the BVS music in this. That was very puzzling to me. I don't know if you guys caught that or not.
yeah.
It was
But-
puzzling to me
Yeah.
too.
It doesn't make much sense. Now they did set up what the lasso can do. It can make you see the truth, right? It can make you see the truth as well, like understand all these things, not necessarily just to make you tell the truth. So they set that up in the beginning, brought it back in the end. I was okay with that, but to me, it's not very believable to me that Diana was able to speak to the entire world and not one single person gave up their wish. You can't tell me that.
Ryan,
can't tell me
you're
there's not
right.
you can't tell me there's not one person like me that would say, "Fuck y'all." I mean,
That's
come
what
on.
I'm saying.
Like,
Because
I'm
didn't
keeping this
everybody in the
giraffe.
world, Ryan, didn't everybody in the world, they had to renounce the wish, right?
Yes, but
I'm wishing for 100 million in the bank. I'm not renouncing that.
and you know what? What it should have been, was she just has Max do it. That's what it should have been. And then once he does it, it cancels out everything that he's done. That's what it should have been. And
That's
it
right.
should have been based on just solely on his child doing it. But instead, Wonder Woman convinces the entire world to renounce their wishes. And then he's like, "Oh, my child, I love my child so much. I renounce my wish."
Yeah.
It was,
Prime, give us a summary of what you think. We supposed to end it out. I got 2 more shirts to give out. I want everybody to plug their channels, and then it's going to be over. And it kills. I die a little bit in the inside when I have to tell y'all goodbye. Now, Prime, tell us what you think. Give us a brief summary. What you think about the movie.
Well, I pretty much in my review, I pretty much put everything down. Said the bad thing about the movie is that it's Cheetah pretty much. The way they introduced Cheetah, the way they did Cheetah. So if you're a comic book reader and a real person that really knows the lore of Wonder Woman and Diana and all the series of it, they messed that all up. They could have introduced Barbara Ann better because they actually went with her iteration because she's the more current. They didn't go with Priscilla and they didn't go with Darman, so they didn't go with them. I would say I took the movie for what it's worth.
What you rate it? What was your rating? One out of 10.
Out of five, I gave it a 3. I gave it a 3. I gave it a 3.5.
Okay, 1 out of 10. What you give it?
1 out of 10. What I give it?
Yeah.
Oh, a 5.
Dang. Okay. I give it a 6. I gave it a 6. I was being nice.
Yeah,
and I gave it a 6 because of the actors. The actors did good. The script was horrible though.
The script was horrible because I'll just do a quick synopsis. People have to fail to realize is this: Jeff Johns is the main influence of this. Patty Jenkins did not really write all of it. Jeff Johns was the main influence of all of this. I would say the only thing that I would say that I really took away from the actual film as a whole was that the way they portrayed Diana. If you really don't know who Wonder Woman really is, she represents love and compassion. So that is actually her character and what she's about. Remember what I said before. These are 2 versions of actions. There are 2 versions of Diana. You have the warrior Diana that does display love and compassion and leadership, but they basically gave us the actual version that was done back in the 1980s. They did the actual George Perez run of Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
But she's pretty much, she doesn't have the sword, she doesn't have the shield.
You put me
It's
on the
pretty much
George
last.
Perez too. You put me on
Yeah.
the George.
So
yeah.
George Perez, that's mainly what they took after and what they used with that. But just Diana as a whole, that's what they use. So like I said, the movie has a lot of potholes. There's a lot of stuff that you can actually. It's a lot of potholes.
Yeah.
I took it for what the movie was worth.
Yeah.
All right. It was. I didn't like a lot of stuff in it. It was entertaining for what it's worth. It was cheesy as hell.
Very
I
cheesy.
mean, Patty Jenkins put a lot of Lester and Donner in the movie, which I already knew that she was going to do. But Jeff Johns, this movie was all Jeff Johns. So I'll leave it at that. There's more, but I'm going to shut up because everybody else on the panel want to say their points.
Okay, James Collin, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I was talking to Vegeta yesterday, and this is what he had to say about you, James.
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level? It's over 9,000! What, 9,000? There's no way that can be right!
My boy James with the $2 super chat, he says, so Linda C has been doing nothing this whole time. Apparently she has.
Retired. She's chilling.
I mean, they wanted to involve her in the movie because she is the original character, but they made her Austria. So I think when they finally do a little bit more of the lore, they will introduce her as being Austria. So with her being Austria, that would be good as well. Like I said, they Wonder Woman 84, the way they did it, like I said, they could have did something completely different. And I ain't gonna get into it, but the Linda Carter ad, that was a win. I did like that. That was cool.
I'm just to go around the panel. Thank the panel so much for coming out because I enjoy everybody content that's on this panel. I got a question to ask you. We're gonna go around in the circle, and I want you to plug your channel too. This is the question: do you think there will be a Wonder Woman 3? And make sure to plug your channel. And people, don't go nowhere because I got 2 more people that's going to get a free shirt. Starting with TK, do you think we're going to get a Wonder Woman 3? And plug your channel.
So from what I'm hearing right now, and for my phone blowing up, they say that it's been confirmed for a Wonder Woman 3. Again, my expectations are just going to be low. I'm sorry. It's just the way part 1 was decent. I like the end, just like Fiddle J was saying that how they switched up the villain and Ares was actually the nerd guy or the guy that we thought wasn't gonna be him. The second movie is just fell down for me. It was just like, all right, whatever. Again, I gave it a 6. I was being modest, the same way Fiddle J was. But other than that, yeah, on my channel, I just do a lot of Batman content. I do breaking news if you guys want to check that out as well. I'll discuss more about the Wonder Woman 3 and what's going on with that and how they might be able to fix things. I don't know. But yeah, I want to say thank you, Fatal J, and to the panel as well for having me. It was pretty cool.
TK, you gonna be back more often. Don't worry about it, bro. And they can find you when they search YouTube. They can find you at TK Batcave, right?
Yeah, TK's Batcave.
It's on the head right there, baby. That's what I'm
man.
talking about. The king of YouTube.
I don't know about that, but what I'll say about Wonder Woman 3 is it is a PR tactic to announce a continuation or a sequel or next project while the first one is just launched, because you want to give the impression that this one's being so well received, which will then cause more people to go out and see it. I would take this announcement of Wonder Woman 3 with a grain of salt, because that's exactly what it is. And with the situation right now, with what's going on in theaters, everything like this, Wonder Woman 3 will be a long way off if it ever even happens. Of course, Patty Jenkins and Gal are doing Cleopatra. Patty Jenkins is now doing a Star Wars movie as well. But you think about that announcement of Rian Johnson's trilogy for Star Wars, it's the same kind of energy that this announcement has, right on top of it. There's kind of very mixed reaction to it. And they're like, guys, look at how well people love this. It's breaking records. Wonder Woman 3, boom, there you go. When in reality, of course, it's going to break HBO Max streaming records. It's the only thing they've put out. That's not really a surprise. But I hope that we get a more concise plan going forward. I hope that if there is a Wonder Woman 3, Jeff Johns is as far away from it as possible. I hope that you have Zach more involved in a Wonder Woman 3 if it happens. I don't think it needs to happen. A Wonder Woman 3, if it happens, should be set after the events of Zack Snyder's Justice League. I think that's the only way that it's going to make sense in continuity, and I think the way that will be best received. So if it does happen, that's the way I would like it to happen. But as far as me, you can check me out, Ryan Kinnell, RK Outpost. I talk about Star Wars, video games, comic books, pop culture, all that good stuff. So thanks for having me on, Fado.
Hey, man, anytime, brother. You know how me and you do.
Sorry,
Bill.
Sorry. First of all, I just want to apologize to all the viewers. Like, if I come off all like awkward and stuff, this is my first live stream. So
It's our first live stream. You did good, though.
Oh, wow.
Thank you. About Wonder Woman 3, I really want to see Giganta. That's who I want to see in Wonder Woman 3. I don't know how they're going to introduce her, but hopefully we get like, you know, some type of like Easter egg or something going like towards that direction. If I'm excited about it, I don't know, because this Wonder Woman 84 was kind of a letdown. I know they were trying to do something like more like lighthearted and for like the mass audience, but to me, Wonder Woman Part 1 is the superior film, just because it's such a like a stronger, more warrior-like story, and I just thought it was a perfect origin for her. And yeah, that's it.
Where can they find you?
Val Rev Mendez. I'm on YouTube, and I'm also on Instagram at Juniper _GNZ.
Perfect. Prime. Wonder Woman 3 in your channel. What you thinking?
Well, Wonder Woman 3, like I said, I'm going to agree with the last gentleman of what he said. It's a PR move, what they're actually putting out there. But I would say when they, you know, if they decide to do Wonder Woman 3, which I believe will happen, but at this particular time and moment, it's a PR move to get it out there, to get some, you know, just to get some feathers moving about it. But if they do Wonder Woman 3, it will have to be right after Zack Snyder's Justice League. And then a lot of people have to realize is this: the reason why this Wonder Woman is the way that it is because Zack Snyder and everybody wasn't even in the picture. This was the takeover of Jeff Johns.
That's true.
So when they started doing this, you know, Jeff Johns started taking over a lot of stuff. So that's what we got. So you have to take it for what it's worth, I think. And you have to also stay. A lot of people got to understand the reason why Wonder Woman 1 was so good was because Zack Snyder wrote the story. He was the head writer on that story. Okay. And I forget Alan Helmsberg. I forget the dude's name. I can't forget.
Was Zack name on this one, no, Prime?
No,
Yeah,
he was
a producer.
He had produced credits.
Now, he was the only reason why Deborah and Zach was in Wonder Woman 84 as producers because of the Directors Guild. That's the only reason why.
And because they created this character,
right,
and all of this
character. Yeah. So with that, you have to take it for what it's worth. What that is. So people just take Wonder Woman 84 for what it's worth, and just like Patty said, erase it right after Zack Snyder's Justice League, just like they did Justice League. All this stuff with Jeff Johns interfering and stuff, all that stuff is going to be erased once all the true iterations come out. So y'all can find me just on my channel. Just type in Prime. Just type in Prime 76. My channel will pop straight up. So
his channel is dope. He break it down. Like I'm talking about between the comics and the movies.
So I do the comics. I also work for EA Sports as well. Because for NBA Live, which is
Rand, y'all might need to do some things then, man.
Yeah,
because I know Rand do games too. He talk about games.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
My panel, y'all can stick around or y'all can dip out if y'all want. Rand, I know you got a stream coming up soon, but stick around, everybody. I'm just announce some more shirt winners. This is the question right here. Number 3. What year did the company officially adopt the name DC Comics?
I know that answer, but I'm not going to say it.
Well, Prime, of course you know. What year did the company officially adopt the name DC Comics? That's going to be a hard one. Let's see who got it. Let's see who has it. 1942, no sir. 1942, 19. No, it ain't 1942.
Someone said 84.
It's the name. The name DC Comics, not when they started, but when they adopt the name. That was a hard one though. I probably should have did that one. My boy right here got it. My boy got it. My boy Tim. Tim, let's see if you're right, though. Let's see if you're right. Here you go. Is he right?
You
Survey.
win. Perfect.
77. All right. This is for the last t-shirt. Oh, and Tim, make sure to put your email in the chat so I can email you later. Number 4. What ancient weapon Bruce and Diana was looking at when they met in BVS? I'm going to say that again. What ancient weapon Bruce and Diana was looking at when they met in BVS? Prime, you know that one?
I didn't even hear. What'd you say?
I said, what ancient weapon Bruce and Diana was looking at when they met in BVS?
Oh, I know that.
I think I see it in the chat.
I see
there.
it.
I
see
know
it
what
too.
it is. I mean, if people don't know that, you
Leon,
know.
it was fake. It was fake. But Big Black Noir got it. It was
Yep.
the sword
Yep.
of Alexander.
Alexander, yes.
So, Black Noir, this is what I want you to do. Put your email in the chat, and I'm going to email you later. I'm going to email you. You give me your shirt size. You give me your name. You give me your shipping address. And you're going to get this beautiful shirt right here. Now, I want to thank my panel for coming out. I want to thank everybody in the chat for sticking around. I want to thank everybody for the dope super chat love. And guess what? We're out of here. Bye-bye.
Listen, I got this. I'm a big dog. You a poodle. Doggone it. I used to be pumping this stuff at the field house. Boy, this ain't nothing. Watch this. Yeah. Oh! Come and get it. Come and get it. Somebody moved the bench when I was trying to lift it.